All right, ladies and gentlemen, we welcome you to today's practice day press conference. Starting at the far end of the panel, allow me to introduce Kyla Hilsman. Moving down this way, Danny Williams. Seated next to her is Anriel Howard, and seated immediately next to me is head coach Gary Blair. We will start things today with questions for our student athletes, please. Cease.
Kyla, what about DePaul recruiting you? Did Bruno go to your house, or could you talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, I went to his camps when I was first starting out, and that was really bad. But I've basically known Coach Bruno throughout my whole basketball experience. He's just a really great guy. So I've known some of my teammates from high school that I played with for a few years go to DePaul, so it's going to be really fun being able to play against them and see them again. It's just going to be a really fun time. I'm excited.
More for student athletes. John in the back.
Danny, what would a win tomorrow mean for your team to get it back in this program, back into the Sweet 16?
It would be huge for us. You know, I've never been, none of us have ever been, and so that's exciting to think about that possibility. And we're playing at home, so I think, you know, that gives us a little bit more of a to play that we haven't been here. We haven't been to the Sweet 16 yet, but we have to come out ready to play and focus because DePaul is a very good team.
Over here, Dave.
David Campbell with AP. Anriel, talk about that home court. Is there a home court advantage here? You guys look awfully comfortable here.
Oh, definitely. And tomorrow night will actually be the real senior night for our seniors. So we want to go out with a win for them, and I'm really excited because, like Danny said, since we've been here, we haven't been to the Sweet 16. So that's something we definitely want to reach, and we'll definitely get there tomorrow.
Over here, Cease.
Danny, Coach talked about Drake being a kind of a warm-up game because they both similar, both shooting three-pointers. What's different about the way DePaul shoots three-pointers, and what are you guys going to have to do to be able to try to slow them down?
I don't necessarily think the three-pointer is different. You know, they're going to shoot the same amount of three-pointers, but they're a little bit better off the dribble, and so we got to eliminate their inside presence more than their outside because we know they're going to get a lot of threes off, and so we got to stop those other points.
Anything more for our student athletes? In the back, John.
Anriel, defensively, what are the challenges of trying to stop a three-point shooting team? You did it against Drake, and now you have another one here tomorrow.
Right. But, I mean, both teams can shoot the threes very well, but like Danny said, DePaul, they can get us off the dribble as well, so we have to be able to close out, ready for the dribble and the shot.
Right here, Cease.
In the scouting reports, Kyla, what do you see as the challenges inside that DePaul are going to offer you?
Well, they definitely, we talked about it in the film, they are an excellent slip team. So if I'm not in my stance and have my head on the swivel, I'll get cut to the basket and I'll have wide open layups, which happened yesterday. So I don't want that to happen again tomorrow. So definitely I'm going to focus on being in my stance because yesterday I was not in my stance. I was buddy running. I wasn't sprinting back. So I think if I can get back on defense better than last game, I think that'll eliminate a lot of my mistakes. And if I play out of my stance, I think that'll also eliminate a lot of my mistakes that I made because DePaul, they're a team full of athletes. They're on scholarship just like us. So, I mean, I just got to go out there and do what I need to do.
In the back, Tom.
I can see a difference on all three of you up on the podium today than the last two times you were up there. I see you all have your game faces on. I can tell that. Is that an attitude along with Jasmine that's going to influence the rest of the team? Can you see since last night, is all the team
for sure
like you all are? Any of y'all can answer that.
Yes, for sure. I mean, we're very focused right now, and we've been humming. We still have a few things that we have to perfect and execute a little bit better, but we're very serious. This postseason is now or never.
I just think from being we have experience, you know, we're the upperclassmen, and so we know what it's like to get knocked down in the second round because for me and Anriel, it's happened the last two years, and so we know that, and we don't want to experience that, so we're trying to instill, you know, like this is this is a serious matter. And so I think for us going into practice today, we got to let our underclassmen know that.
Well, for me personally, I haven't been to any like Sweet 16 Elite Eight or anything, and I really want to like leave that behind, not only for like myself but for my teammates and the underclassmen, so they can experience that. And I've always wanted to go to a Sweet 16, Elite Eight, Final Four, and hopefully national championship game, and that would just mean a lot to me to be able to take that step into that right direction by making it to the Sweet 16.
Anything more for our student athletes?
I've got a question for him. When you were a sophomore and you two were freshmen, they came in here and they were able to beat us through transition, even more than threes. What did we learn from that ball game 2 years ago when we faced them that they won 80-65?
I mean, I learned that they competed. They wanted to win. And like you said, I remember us not getting back like we were supposed to. So if we eliminate that, that'll help out a lot tomorrow.
I was a little youngin', so I wasn't quite used to the doubles and triples yet. So I was just kind of frantico and was fouling a lot. Apparently, I was out the game because I was fouling. So I'm going to try to clean that up this time.
Anything further for our student athletes? Ladies, thank you.
Thank you.
All right, questions for Coach Blair, please. Cease.
Gary, you said Drake's three-point approach was an old Vanderbilt team or a Vanderbilt team from back. You've faced Bruno several times. What's different about the DePaul three-point attack?
They're more athletic. They're going to run after a basket as well as any team that we have faced all year. And this is where Kyla could get hurt. Kyla scores. Then that ball's out of the basket and it's on the rim, and her man is flying down the court. Now that's going to be a problem. It was a little bit of a problem yesterday for us as well. But on film, it's a huge problem. They run as much as Connecticut runs, and you saw what Connecticut did in the first half today, 94 points. The Coleman kid, number 10, I'm just super, super impressed with her. Is that the last name? Did I get it right?
Amara Coleman? Yep.
Yeah. And she's a big guard that's very good at taking the ball to the basket and setting up her three-point. We've got to take her right hand away and make her run more of a set offense. Here's a stat that Coach Starkey said. They scored 4 points yesterday that were not threes, layups, or free throws. So that means 4 points in the whole ball game that were not layups or threes or free throws. We cannot let that happen, okay? Now, we're not going to stop them from shooting 33s. They're still going to shoot 33s. It doesn't matter if we're Connecticut or not. They'll shoot 33s against Connecticut. But the difference is, do they make them? Generally, they're only rebounding with one person on the offensive end because those other 3 are sitting back for kickbacks. In case that one person gets it, they're going to kick the ball right back, and they're going, it's like a shooting gallery back there. They're just lining up, and then that way they can also get back on defense very well. They want layups, threes, and get to the foul line. Oklahoma did a very good job after the first quarter of not letting them go to the free throw line until late in the ball game. That's just how good DePaul was in that first quarter yesterday.
More for Coach? Cease?
So why has your defense improved on three-pointers from, say, when you played Rice in Oregon and they were able to get you on the back doors and get people open? What has changed in the last third of the season?
It's rotation, being accountable, not ball watching. People running 4-out, 5-out offenses from little dribblers to the NBA a lot of times now. And we have to adjust with that. The biggest problem is going to be Kyla. Can she go out and guard a 5 player, not from here to you, and worry about the paint touches? She's going to have to go out. So that means there's a lot of rebounds for our guards and for Howard. But we're going to have to realize she is going to have to go out and guard people. But when she goes out and guards people, then they do a great job of posting up their guards. They'll flash people in, and that's the other thing that they do very well to get their paint points. So it's just a well-oiled machine. He recruits his talent for a system. He does a very, very good job. Just think of how many great players from the city of Chicago that have gone on to Big Ten schools or ACC or SEC. He doesn't get them all, but he goes in and recruits kids that can play his system because everybody wants to play up-tempo, and he's about as up-tempo as the old Loyola Marymount of the days. And he's just a great coach. So he recruits to a system and he wins. Now, the Big East is not the SEC, but he wins it every year. But back when Connecticut, Syracuse, Louisville, and Notre Dame was in that same league, he was doing a very good job when he was in that league with those teams as well. So he's just a very good coach, and we've got our hands full. This is what a 4 and a 5 seed should be. It should be a flip of a coin. And I'm just going to encourage Doug today. It's St. Patrick's Day. I hope he goes out on our town and finds a lot of green beer somewhere and has a good time, because Doug's a good friend. We talk a lot of baseball. He's a Cub guy and I'm a Ranger guy, and so, but when you think about my first game at Arkansas, when we opened up Bud Walton Arena, the opening game was against DePaul. When we went to the Elite 8, the Sweet 16 up at Nebraska, we were able to beat Bruno in a high-scoring ball game up there, and then Connecticut took care of us. Then all of a sudden, we did a home-and-home. We played in his tournament, played him the opening night, Kyla's freshman year. We were able to win that ball game in a close ball game. Then he came back down here 2 years ago and just basically kicked our butt on our home court, and it wasn't even close. So I have a lot of respect for Bruno. I love playing his teams because it gets you ready for everything. The best thing that's helping us is playing Drake yesterday, which runs a similar style, but the difference is DePaul drives the ball, and Drake is a three-point shooting team and a mid-range shooting team. So a little bit difference in style and athleticism, but we're hoping our mistakes against Drake, and there was a bunch of them on the defensive end, hopefully will be cleared up by the time we play tomorrow afternoon. Appreciate all the articles that were in the paper today. Y'all are covering us very well, radio and TV, but I appreciate everything the media has done for us.
We'll wrap it up with Cease.
Gary, John asked this question, your players, what would a win mean for you tomorrow night, or tomorrow afternoon?
You play at home, you're supposed to be the favorite, even though the teams on paper are very much. Our crowd has to take over this game. When we struggle a little, our crowd needs to take it over. It means a lot to get back to Sweet 16, Elite 8. I'm looking forward to going to Spokane. I hadn't been there since AAU days back in the 80s. but I know how tough this is going to be. That's why it's a 4-5 game. And I'm going to trust our 12th man. I'm hoping the people who are back from spring break will come to the ball game tomorrow. And I want the nation to see two very, very good basketball teams. They very easily could have been a 4 seed themselves. But this team, I told our team, this is the best team that we've had in 3 years. And that was back with Walker and Jones and Williams and all that crew, but this is the best team that we've had in 3 to 4 years, and I'd like to see them advance because I think we've played that well this year. We've made mistakes, yes, but doggone it, we've had a good year. The only way you can go to a great year is to get to Sweet 16 and Elite 8 and on up. If it ends after this one, it was a good year. But I'm into that next letter, that 5-letter word called great.